Yo! I don't know why I got it to the side. It ain't even that type of video. What's good, y'all? Surprise, man. Today, we're going to be talking. If I put it in the center, that means I'm talking. We're going to be talking about just what happened tonight at Saturday night's main event, from the actual event to what actually happened when I live streamed it. For those who don't know, you can watch the live stream back. I had to do two parts because my computer died. But I'm gonna talk about what happened in the stream as far as when I was doing the stream. Just it was a great stream. Just gonna talk about how great it is. And also, but first I'm gonna say that for the end. First I'm gonna talk about what actually happened at Saturday night's main event. It's really just gonna be giving my thoughts on each match. Here we go. So we started the show off with Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Now the theme of this show really was that these matches weren't that long. You know, WWE goes heavy on the advertisement. Obviously, that's how you get your money. So they go heavy on the advertisement. So these matches that we saw wasn't really that long. Now to actually come to think of it, the only ones that felt any real length of time were the two world title matches. All the other ones felt not rushed, but it just felt like these weren't like, you could tell obviously they weren't performing at like a PLE level because they knew they only had like, 8 minutes or whatever. So this first match ended with Drew was going out of the ring and Sammy would come to meet him, but then Drew would go back in the ring. Then Sammy would go back in, then Drew would roll back out. Then Sammy would roll back in, and he caught him to where, as they were going in and out, where he's making Sammy chase him, he got to the point where he made Sammy fall into his trap, which was, getting in the ring. And then when Sammy got in the ring, he claymored him the second he got into the ring. So 1, 2, 3, Sammy's done. And yeah, we were 1-0 on predictions by this point. And, just knowing that Drew needed the win, I mean, there was no way he was going to lose, especially after that big loss from Hell in a Cell with Punk. There's no way you were going to have Drew lose. And Drew's been killing the game. I mean, I think he's going to do great in the next year. So it's crazy to think we're at the end of the year, man. That's how you know Christmas is around, is when we start getting at the end of the year. You like, yeah. Or when Christmas is coming closer, that's how you know it's like we really at the end of the year, and it's crazy. Hopefully, I'm gonna say of all the nice things to say at the end. But yep, that match was fine. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a good. As far as I will say, that was the dang near the perfect match. As far as when you only are given like 8 to 10 minutes, I mean they rocked out for a match only having like that much time. They rocked out, which makes sense. They've been in the business long enough and they've wrestled each other a good bunch of times. So anyway, match wasn't anything crazy, but the crowd was had good energy and they did really well for the short span of time they were given. So match probably got maybe 7 out of 10, because it was nothing crazy, but 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5. And then we get into the second match of the night, which was the women's. I think it was the women's world championship match. Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Another match that wasn't that crazy. A notable spot that happened in the match was there was a botch, I think, where Io was going to do a springboard, but she slipped off the rope. And Liv, man, I know she probably gets hated on for her in-ring work. Some say it doesn't look as, violent or whatever, but whatever the case may be. I'm just thinking of random criticisms people make. But man, Liv Morgan, what a freaking improviser. Like, that's what you have to learn how to do as wrestlers, like how to improvise when somebody does something that don't go right. When Io went for a springboard and she slipped, Liv immediately hit her with double knees and went for a cover. I'm like, she did not hesitate. It never once seemed awkward. She literally was like, oh, you messed up. And then boom, hit her with a move. Like, bro, that's stuff like in a rookie situation, or if you're newer to the business, you would have probably like panicked. But she just immediately hit a move. Like, nah, because it's like, if you want to make it look believable and make it look more like a shoot that we're really, fighting each other. Yeah, if somebody messed up, you would legitimately try to beat them up right after they just messed up. I mean, we say all the time in boxing or fighting, when somebody misses a move and then you immediately hit them with another one. Because, like, yeah, you ain't going to make it not look cooperative. You're not going to wait around to get back on track. Like, no, you going to hit them with a move. And she immediately did that. So I thought that was cool. And then the other part notable in the match was Io hit a knee on Liv, and you thought, oh dang, it looked like it came really close to her face, and you saw it was one little stream of blood coming out like her right nostril, and you're like, damn, like she really hit her. And then the match ended with Liv hitting Oblivion and winning clean 1-2-3 over Io. So we were 2-0 in predictions. This match, again, it was quick, so you didn't really get time to digest whether it was a great or a good or a great match, whatever. I guess you can get this match maybe 6.5, 7, just because it wasn't bad necessarily, but it's just again, it wasn't given a lot of time. It wasn't given like PLE style time, so it didn't have like it wasn't one of those matches that properly built into the finish or properly you got to get into it and it hit its fever pitch and then it hit its climax and come to its resolution in a way that flows and transitions well. But since they weren't given a lot of time, they had to speed up all that. For those who learned in school, the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. The match didn't get time to really. It kind of went through that process pretty quick because again they were live, and they were on TV. So they don't have with PLEs they can go as long as they want to go, but with when they're on like live television where they only got 2 hours because the show was only 2 hours and they gotta move on to the next channel and next show. I said next channel, next show. They don't got that same luxury, but. Afterwards, you saw the slow-mo of Io nailing her with the knee. Like, she hit her flush, like on some Seth Rollins-esque when he hit John Cena and broke his nose legitimately when he hit like that jumping knee. Like, it's like Io was trying to get in her Seth Rollins bag right there when she need Liv. But yeah, so Liv went up to the top of the ramp, nose bleeding. It looked cool, though. I ain't gonna lie. It made Liv look tough as hell. And she toughened it out through the match. Luckily they were already kind of close to the finish by that point too. So yeah, Liv no problem toughed it out, man. She's a trooper right there. So went to the top of the ramp and then you hear Rhea's music plays, crowd pops because she's the most popular female in the business, pretty much. And she had a stare off with Liv, and it looked cool because Liv was like still bleeding, so that would actually look like a cool kind of badass little frame there. But yeah, she was at the top of the ramp. They had a stare off, and then we went on to the next match, which ended up being for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was I almost said Sheamus. Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion versus Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Match was fine. Probably give that one 7.5 as well. Probably give it maybe 7. Maybe close to an 8 because it got more time, obviously, to build. And Gunther, as some people are saying, officially got his aura back because he was. I mean, they was all beating the shit out of each other, but Gunther came out with the victory. Powerbomb. I think it was a powerbomb to Finn Balor, all in pin on Finn. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, Gunther packed him up. Wasn't anything else to really note from this match. Priest was definitely having his moments in the match. Where he was taking everybody out and stuff like that, so he had his moment to shine. But ultimately, match was fine. Nothing crazy, and Gunther established or reestablished his dominance, man. So, and he pinned Finn Balor too. So he's pinned Damian Priest twice now, and now he pinned Finn Balor. So I don't know what's next for Gunther because I feel like they're gonna continue with Finn and Damian, especially with their tag title match that's coming up this week. After it's Sunday. Well, it's not Sunday yet, but when it's Sunday, and it's almost Sunday by the time of this recording, they'll be, tomorrow that they defend the title when it's, that they defend the tag titles again against War Raiders, where I think Damian Priest will cost them that match. And yeah, I don't know who Gunther's going to feud with, though, because the only two people I would see feuding with him is Punk and Seth, and they having their issue now. They're not waiting until Mania for their issue, so I don't know. But that's what we got going on with Gunther. Then the co-main event was the inaugural Women's United States Champions. And only thing notable from it was Chelsea Green versus Michin for the inaugural, who to become the first ever Women's United States Champion. And only notable thing from this match was it was a cool little finish where Chelsea Green, how that, the kill switch where, you got them where their head is on the back of your neck and you got their arms over you and you drop down. She did it to where she came off the top rope, flipped to where her head is on her neck and landed on her feet, and then she hit it. And it was cool. I thought she was going to do it all in one motion, which would have been cooler, but she did it to where she kind of flipped to where her head was on top of Michin's back, landed on her feet, and then dropped her with the unpretty her And that was it, man. 1, 2, 3. So 3-0 or 3-0 in predictions when they got to Gunther, but 4-0 in predictions in this match. And match wasn't anything crazy. I mean, it was, pretty quick. Not like pretty quick, but like, it was a match that clearly probably didn't go 10 minutes. Another match that probably went 7 minutes at best. Wasn't a, like I said, they on television. They got all these advertisements too. So wasn't a long match. So I always say, like, when matches are like 7 minutes like that, you don't really get a chance to digest the fact that it was a good or bad match, So it was kind of more or less. Crowd was, I will say though, as the match went on, you heard audibly the crowd chanting for Chelsea Green, which is funny because she's the heel. It's like the heels get more over than the faces sometimes. But, yeah, they were wanting her to win the title, and they popped pretty big for it. And of course, they gave her the pyro and all the other stuff when she became the first ever champ. But hopefully, this means that they take this title seriously, man. Hopefully, it don't end up being like a tag title situation where, yeah, it's cool when you see the first ever champion of something, but then as time goes on, the title no longer means anything. So now it's just like, we just have another title. So my only thing is hope that this title gets the love and admiration that I don't know about it deserves, because it hasn't really established as anything yet, but give it some prestige so that, fans can grow to care and have some thought and have some positive thoughts on it and give it some meaning. Because honestly, with them doing a intercontinental one on the Raw side of things, and I think the champion for them is going to be crowned on the Netflix debut on Raw, or the Raw debut on Netflix is the other way around. It does make the scene crowded as far as now there is a lot of belts in the company now. Because now with the males and the females, there's 2 world titles for both. So that's 4 world titles. Then there's 4 mid-card titles because now they both got one. And then there's 2 tag titles for the males and 1 for the females. So it's a lot of titles now. It's definitely getting crowded. Like, because we're already at, 11 titles now just on the main roster. That's 11 titles, even though it's, rosters are split and so they can't all go after the same championship, but still, there's a lot of titles. So hopefully the prestige don't go down with these titles, because now everybody's got to put the girls in it, and it's like, you hope them trying to make the stuff, because that's the whole thing, right, that people go with it, making everything equal. But I just want those okay, but like, if you're not gonna book this with care, then it'll just end up being another belt to have, which will then bring down the prestige of the other belts. But hopefully they can make it mean something. Hopefully they actually take Chelsea Green seriously and that she's no longer a comedy act. I mean, she is funny and has like the natural personality, but she does need to be booked as a serious champion. As in somebody who can actually hold the title, even if she has to cheat. Somebody who can actually hold the title for some time, Because going into this, I figured Chelsea was going to win, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have gave it to someone like a Bayley. And it's funny because before they made this mid-card title, I was like, if they ever made a women's mid-card title, I'm having Bayley be the first ever champion, because that's just somebody, you trust. And, you want to give her more of something, because they've always given like Becky and Charlotte a lot, but Bayley ends up kind of getting left behind. So it'd be cool to see her like be the first ever, champion. And funny enough, they ended up making a women's mid-card belt. And she was in the tournament, even though she didn't win it. She was in the tournament. So it's funny how that happened. But anyway, new champ. Hopefully, like I said, they make the title mean something, so that it don't just seem like we're crowded with a bunch of titles on the roster. Because if we can all make them mean something, then it's not a problem. It's only a problem when you don't make the title mean anything. So now it just looks like we have a crowded roster with titles. But my last thing I'm going to say about this is, it's just going to make this harder on them to get people on to WrestleMania, because now it's like you have like 11 champions now. So across the males and the females. So that's over half of WrestleMania booked just off champions. So that's why I'm like, this is going to make it really tough to get titles on PLEs, because the tag titles don't get on PLEs as it is. We're seeing all these tag titles switches happen on, like, if you want to talk about how the prestige has gone down with the tag titles, all the title changes we've seen this year have been on TV. Like, when, what was it, on Monday Night Raw side of things, what was their names? Truth and Miz, I think they won the titles at WrestleMania. Then they lost them, I think it was to Judgment Day, and they've had them since. Like, Judgment Day have had the title since, and only had like 2 or 3 defenses in like the 150 something days they've had the belts or something like that. So that's what I mean by like the tag titles have already lost some prestige because, one, there's not a lot of charismatic over tag teams who can have the banger matches, and then 2, we're seeing all these title changes happen on television. And then on the SmackDown side of things, it's happening a lot. So on Raw, the problem is, even though the belts aren't changing hands constantly, it's not really being defended at all. And then the problem on SmackDown is the opposite. They're being defended a lot, but the problem is the title changes are switching so quick in, like, their own television. Like, for example, Motor City Machine Guns lost it to DIY, and I get it. They're building a story with them being a heel, so at least they're trying to build a tag team storyline rather than just having number 1 contenders matches and they have the match. But, I mean, like, Motor City Machine Guns didn't even hold it a month and a half. They held it over a month, but it wasn't even a month and a half. And then DIY in their first reign held it for less than a month. Street Profits still haven't been able to get the belts back. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they didn't have them that long until they lost them to DIY in their first reign. So it's like we've seen like 5 different title switches, on just SmackDown. We've seen like 4 or 5 times the titles have changed hands and all these. Oh yeah, the Bloodline was the other tag title reign. So yeah, we've seen the title switch like 5 times this year, and it was all on television. It wasn't like a situation where at least like 3 out of 5 of them were on a pay-per-view, like, or on a PLE. They just so many on television. So I say all I know I got on a rant, but say all that to say hopefully they make the titles mean something. But we go on to the main event and post-main event, apparently, as we saw on if you looked on Twitter X, Twitter, it's some things that happened after this main event, which was between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. I was so into the match, so I guess this would probably be the best match of the night because I was really into it, and this was probably the only one I was really looking forward to for like a match that they built up well. This is the only one I feel like they built up like really well to where you could put it on a PLE. All the other matches is like, they're cool maybe for matches, but none of them really felt, oh, that's like PLE worthy right now. As far as how they built it, not the people involved. But yeah, this match was done good. We had Kevin Owens doing the dusty jabs and then Cody countering and doing the same thing. So Kevin Owens out there doing his thing. Cody hit the Cody Cutter a couple times. Jesse Ventura was on commentary, so shout out to all the legends and all that came out tonight. Let us know, about the old times, the good, as they say, the good old days, But ultimately, the match ended with Kevin Owens, or the referee got taken out like twice. It was like one referee got taken out, the other referee got taken out, and I think it was because like Owens shoved Cody into both of them at one point. And Charles Robinson, man, he sold it like he had got shot out of a cannon. Like, I was like, God, dog, bro. The way he launched himself and took that bump, bro, was crazy. But yeah, they had the old school referee outfits where they had the long button ups and the blue button ups with the long sleeves and everything. So that was cool, with the bow tie. So that was cool seeing them go with the old school referee outfits rather than as we see now with the referee zebra colored shirts. But yeah, referees got bumped twice. Turnbuckles were also red, white, and blue. They had the old WWF logo, but it wasn't, obviously the F wasn't on there. But that old school logo. And actually, before I continue with this match, the Winged Eagle belt came back. I almost forgot to mention that. Imagine if I would have forgot that. The Winged Eagle belt came back, man. It was fantastic. If you saw the stream, fantastic looking championship, man. Hopefully, I say hopefully. They already said it was one night only. I was going to say hopefully they make it a permanent thing, but I don't think they are. I'm like, at this point, it ain't going to kill you to go back old school. Like, ain't nobody going to be like, oh, well, that title was for its time. Change it up. No. Nobody is going to say that. We will take that beautiful Winged Eagle belt over the one we got now any day. You know what I mean? I don't care if we got to go from the past design and take it to now because it's a pretty looking belt. So, anyway, great to see that belt back. But the match ended with an interesting twist. As the referees were knocked down, Kevin Owens was about to hit Cody with a steel chair. Cody like hit him with some type of kick or something like that, and the chair fell, and he had him in crossroads position, and he was like kind of conflicted, like, oh, should I hit it? Because that's technically cheating if you hit it on the chair. And Cody said, well, F it. Kevin's been a prick, so bet. Boom, hit the crossroads on the chair, and Charles Robinson got back up 1, 2, 3. It's funny because he counted on the floor because he was standing on the floor and counted on the apron 1, 2, 3. That was funny. And yeah, Cody retained. So 5-0 on predictions. And yeah, Kevin Owens, I forgot to mention, also hit a stunner, but the referees were down. So when he did it, so he got the 1, 2, 3, but the referees were down and out. But anyway, fine match. I'd probably give that maybe 8 out of 10 because it had more anticipation, and that was an actual clear heel this time, so it made the match that much better because you had somebody clearly to root for. Now, as far as the television viewing audience, with Cody holding the big, beautiful Winged Eagle belt in the air, went off the air like that. But off air, what happened was two things. Number one, Kevin Owens, and it's funny, in the live stream, I said, hey, Kevin Owens looking at Cody like he wants some more, like he about to attack him. And they went off air and he didn't, but off air he did attack him, so I was right. So he attacked him and he hit the package pile driver where he has the double underhook, raises you up to where you're vertical in the air, and then drops you on your head. So that, for those who don't know, I think that used to be his finisher when he was on the independent scene. I think that used to be his finish, the package pile driver. So shout out to them making it to where Owens is the only person using the pile driver. So it makes it makes him seem that much more devastating, and the move that much more devastating. Just pile drivers in general, but more specifically the package pile driver, I know was his. So it makes Kevin Owens look way more dangerous and sinister because he's the only one that's using this, banned move. So that's the first thing that happened. And then apparently Cody got sent out on a stretcher, and in that, so then we're going to keep going with this match, which I figured this was going to at least lead to one more match, if not a 3-match type of thing. Even though I already had a first one technically at Bash in Berlin. But anyway, last thing that happened that I was talking about was basically Kevin Owens was holding up that Winged Eagle belt, at the top of the ramp and smiling, proud of himself for taking out Cody. And then Triple H comes out there and he gives him a freaking forceful shove, and he's freaking talking to Kevin Owens, and he's yelling and screaming at him, and he's telling him off. And he pushes Kevin Owens a couple times. Then Kevin Owens pushed Triple H, and then people are breaking it up. So it was a great way to end the show if that's how they would have ended the show. But I think they are kind of using the whole social media thing as a strategy. Like, they know that people are going to be on the internet and they're going to be recording everything. So I think they're using this as more of a marketing or business strategy to do this type of stuff off air. But it'd be great to see it on live TV because, it would have made more for the live viewing audience a more exciting finish. But they know everybody's going to record everything. So they've kind of thought to themselves, well, I guess it doesn't really matter if we do it or not. But anyway, it shoved Triple H. And yeah, it's special there because, for those who don't know, like, Kevin Owens was a Triple H guy. Triple H was one of those people that gave Owens a chance early in his career to really prove himself. And Kevin Owens did prove himself, as a top guy and as a main event talent. And Triple H was the one who, gave him those opportunities and put in a good word to people like Vince at the time, and he, became Universal Champion from that and quickly became NXT Champion when he initially came to NXT in like 2014, I think, 13 or 14. Yeah, but, so they have history, like, as far as, like, they, not love each other. Well, apparently do love each other, but, they have history there. They were tight, Triple H and Kevin Owens, as a real life thing. Like, they were like legitimately tight with each other. And as far as Triple H giving him those opportunities and just trusting in Kevin Owens as a top guy and believing in him. So, the fact that they got, fisticuffs, blow for blow, it's something really going down. But hey, man, I'm loving seeing how this story progresses. This is easily the best story Cody's had since being champion, because this one, it looks like they're putting a lot more effort into making a story, and it's something that feels fresh. With him facing Solo, it didn't really feel that fresh because we had already seen him face all of the bloodline. So once he feuded with Solo, and in AJ, you just didn't believe he was going to take the title, and then even then, it didn't feel like a story until they did the fake retirement thing. That's when it actually started feeling like a story. But yeah, and then Logan Paul, that wasn't really much of a story, and plus we knew he wasn't winning. So getting to Kevin Owens, heel Kevin Owens here, Yeah, it was crazy, bro. And like I said, I'm here for it as far as seeing how the story unfolds. This has been intriguing. As you can see, I'm a little not yawning, but like tired in general. Like my energy definitely feels down. And it is now 12 in the morning as I'm recording this December 15th. So happy Sunday, folks. Make sure you pray and make sure you have a blessed day for those who believe in God. I do, so ooh, Lord. So, I'm gonna always push that on this channel. But anyway, yeah, I was trying to think of what else I wanted to say. Oh, I just wanted to take notice that, like, I think Cody, even though this wasn't a PLE, I think Cody's only missed Survivor Series. I think out of all the shows this year, Cody's has only missed. So that man, they go to show you, man, he's the real face of the company. There, other than Roman Reigns, obviously, he's really getting pushed as the face of the company because he's been a part of every PLE this year, except even though Saturday Night's main event wasn't a PLE, but they were giving they were giving it that type of vibe, But Survivor Series, I think, was the only one Cody wasn't a part of. It's crazy. And it's funny because that's one of the big four PLEs, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series. So that would be the one he's not a part of, but I already had enough on the card, so it makes sense. But anyway, last thing I was gonna say, I know I heard you. If you guys are just here for the review, I gave that match, like I said, 8 out of 10. So like I said, the show overall probably got 7, maybe 7.5, 7 to 7.5 out of 10 show. I think on my stream I gave it like an 8.5 because of what I'm about to say right now, and that's we broke a streaming record for this personal channel, man. The most we had ever in a live stream prior to tonight was like I think 8 or 10 or something like that. But tonight we got to like up to 20 or 21. It was either 20 or 21 we got up to. So shout out to Brandon in the live chat doing his thing. I told him to let the people know, and he let some people know, and they came and a couple of them commented. So it was like more comments than I had ever seen, and more people I've ever had in a live stream. So shout out to Brandon, man. Like I said, if he shows up on the next live stream, I'm making him a mod because he really did it. And just to let you guys know, I mean, we hit 3 different milestones. Tonight we hit 1,000 videos for the first, not for the first time. We have officially in the 2.5 years technically that I've been doing this since April of 2022. In the 2.5 years I've been doing this, we finally have reached 1,000 videos. I've officially posted 1,000 videos on the channel. It'd be funny if somebody went throughout my history and clipped it all up, but you gotta say that for when you get more big and popular. But anyway, 1,000 videos, and then again, most live viewers I've ever had in this stream. I had like 20 or 21 at the highest, and never had I had that before. So views are already doing good on that, and we hit 1,100 subs, man. I told you I'm gonna make the little short video when I hit like 2,000 and 3,000. I'm not gonna do about hundreds now. Since I'm in the thousands, I'm gonna now do about thousands. So, love and appreciate you guys, man. I'm really am a happy camper. It was a great live stream. Probably the best live stream I've ever had, man, as far as just the energy in the chat. Even though there was like one negative comment, he was like, wow, stop yelling. Ain't nobody watching this. But yeah, you had to watch it to say that. So just exposed a couple of the trolls, even though it was on like 1 or 2 in the chat. It was like 1, I think. So yeah, even exposing the trolls, having a little fun with them, but ultimately go check out the live stream, man. But this is your review for Saturday night's main event. I had a great night and I had a productive Saturday. So y'all go check out the Saturday night's main event live stream. But hey, we gonna keep it going and keep it rolling, man. No matter who tries to tell us to quit or who tries to tell us to stop, we gonna keep going. No matter what criticism I get, this channel gonna keep going up, and we only gonna get better when I get more streaming equipment for Christmas this year. But hey, we're gonna say this or this. What's gonna be this project? You can see in the coming content videos, the bangers over and over again, doing my thing, and y'all doing y'all thing, running it up, man. We just gonna keep working together, and we are building a strong foundation, a strong unit that everybody will have to take notice of, no matter what. But love and appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you got this far in the video. Like, comment, subscribe before you leave. But until then, I'll see you guys, and they will all know that DJ run the show. So without further ado, let's get it. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.